Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today, I'm going to be talking about my election model for 2024 and why it predicts Donald Trump is going to win an electoral college landslide against incumbent President Joe Biden. Now, before we get started with the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on that bell, follow all the socials and the links in the description, and go subscribe to Lalo. Lalo is in fact a YouTuber just like me who's creating content like me, covering election stuff, as well as some other, side content that he likes to cover as well. And he's released a couple of her predictions, and he is actually really good at doing these. However, I noticed he needed a little bit of help with his thumbnail, so I recently, in his latest video, I did actually redo a thumbnail for him, and so he's going to start using my thumbnails I'm going to be making from now on. But I kind of wanted to promote him. He's currently at 1.9 subscribers. Let's get him to 2K, before the end of the day begins. So I hope you guys go do that before we start the video. And now let's head over to the map. And so right now, if you look at my model, right, I actually updated the model to kind of factor in polling errors, because what I did is I plugged in the polling margin, but I didn't actually predict the popular vote margin. But over here, I would plug in, and as I'm thinking, okay, so he's going to win the popular vote by 1.1 points. So, but it's not really predicting the popular vote. This is supposed to be the polling average. And then my model should spit out a popular vote number. So that's exactly what I accounted for. And it kind of changed the numbers. And I had to kind of go back here and readjust all of the polling adjusters for the election to get the actual results from the 2020 presidential election, which then carry over to create a poll adjuster and gets multiplied to every single number in the same part of the equation from the previous election to account for some error the model could have had in 2020. So this model may be off to the left or to the right by probably 2 to 3 points. And even if that is the case, Donald Trump is so ahead right now, according to my model, that it's almost impossible for this to even be that big of a miss. And so right now we are going to fill out the electoral map based off those results. As of right now, in the state of Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana are all going to be safe Republican states. Remember, I am using plus 15 as the safe margin now instead of the plus 10. If you look at the states of Ohio and Iowa, they would in fact be over 15-point wins. If you look at the states of Texas and Florida, they would be likely margins as of right now. And if we look at the safe Democratic states, the states of Hawaii, California would have all been safe. If you go down here, we can see a couple of more safe Democratic states: Vermont, Massachusetts, Maryland, and DC. However, the states of Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Rhode Island, and Oregon and Washington would all be likely margins, including the state of Oregon actually narrowing up quite significantly, actually falling under 10 percentage points. The state of Illinois and New York would have also been under 15 percentage points, according to my model right now. And Colorado is slightly above a 5-point victory. He is currently projected to win the popular vote by 5 points based off of an estimated polling error that I have deduced from the election. And so this is basically the estimated polling error for the next presidential election, is a projected polling error of 4 points, which I do think the polling error in 2024 is going to be pretty massive for the national level, which will affect some of these state results. And so as of right now, Donald Trump currently is at 203 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 190. I do think he would win South Carolina and Alaska by a safe margin in this case. He also is winning at large in Nebraska as well. He's going to win the Maine first district, is actually going to be under a 15-point win, with the second congressional district being safe. And we're going to be getting into some of the swing states as of right now. The state of Virginia is going to be a lean Democratic margin. The state is really, really close. Voted for Biden by 10 points in a plus 0.5 environment, but the state has trended slightly to the left. And so because of that, even in a plus Trump 5 environment, he still probably won't even win the state as of right now. If we go to the state of New Hampshire, it is a very, very, very close, but it is in fact a tilt Democratic margin as of right now. The states of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, the state of North Carolina, the state of Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada are all likely margins in Donald Trump's column, and he wins them fairly easily. The state of New Mexico is going to be a lean margin, and we're going to be getting into the last three states, with Minnesota actually being shown as a flip here in the Electoral College. If we go down, the state of Nebraska's 2nd district is going to flip, and the Maine at large electoral votes in Maine would also flip, putting Donald Trump at 325 electoral college votes to Joe Biden's 213. Now, do I think this is going to be the case? No, I think Joe Biden will hold on to the state of Minnesota and probably hold on to Maine at large. Nebraska's 2nd district could be up in the air, but this is really close to my actual prediction, besides the fact that Minnesota could potentially flip. But really, these are so close that the discrepancy between this prediction and my prediction is basically almost non-existent. These would be decided by less than 10,000 votes each, and I have Minnesota as a tilt Democratic margin, so I could be off by 10, 20,000 votes for all who knows, for the most part. So before you're saying, oh, this is super inaccurate from my yesterday's prediction or whatever, well, not really, because I have a lot of these as actually pretty close races, and Michigan and Pennsylvania are like borderline likely on the map, as well as Wisconsin. So this is what the election would look like according to my model as of right now. Trump would be projected to win the popular vote by 5 percentage points, really gaining in a lot of the red dark Republican states. That's really where he would be gaining his extra support and cutting into some of the margins in New York, California, Hawaii, etc., giving him a big electoral college victory. This would be a landslide victory in the Electoral College. If you look at some of these states here, Joe Biden won Minnesota by 7 points. Donald Trump ends up picking up the state. Wisconsin really, really close. Trump ends up picking up the state by a little bit. Same thing in the state of Michigan. He would end up picking it up by a couple of points in the scenario. He actually gets it by about 6 percentage points here in a +5 environment, which is pretty interesting in my opinion. This would result, basically what I think would happen for the polling error to be this big is a large polling error with African American voters and low propensity Hispanic voters. I think they are actually shifting to Donald Trump much more heavily than people think. I also think that the 18 to 29-year-old vote is shifting to Donald Trump by much greater margins than people are actually anticipating. I think he's actually probably narrowing the gap with them and could potentially win that age group depending on several factors. I think if RFK takes a large share of them, I think he is going to be able to make gains among those voters and actually win a plurality of them. I think African American voters, Donald Trump is being underestimated. I think it is technically possible for Trump to win them in a large third party vote share scenario, which I have put on the channel, a 329 to 209 Joe Biden Electoral College victory. If RFK gets a large share of the vote, it's basically this map, but with New Hampshire red, and states like New York, New Mexico, Colorado are like really, really close, and Illinois is close, and Hawaii. It's a weird electoral map, but it kind of makes sense if RFK is realistically getting anywhere from 10 to 15 million votes. That could be a realistic Electoral College map as of right now. Now, do I think this prediction is too Republican? Yes, but this is what the model is showing right now. And the model can be off by 3 points to the right or 3 points to the left. That is the margin of error I am giving my model as of right now. And so that is basically it for this video. I kind of wanted to just do a little bit of analysis on my model and showing what it predicts for the 2024 presidential election. It currently, uses the data from all the polling averages in the states, the results from 2016 to 2020, the swing from 2016 and 2020, and the trend from 2016 to 2020. That is basically what I am showing there. So if you guys did enjoy the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that bell so you don't miss another video, and follow all links in the description. And please subscribe to Lalo's YouTube channel so we can get him up to 2,000 by the end of the day. and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.